I was speaking with a client recently who told me, Brian, I'd love to take a part-time job here in retirement, but I don't want it to impact my US Social Security benefits. Today, we're going to talk about how your US Social Security benefits are calculated and how a part-time job could actually lower your US Social Security benefits. My name is Brian Haggard. I'm a certified financial planner, chartered financial analyst. I'm the founder of Retirement and Financial. We help simplify your cross border retirement plan. And one of the things that we help our clients with is coordinating their US and Canadian Social Security benefits. Up in Canada, you'll probably have your Canada pension plan, your old age supplement. Down here in the United States, you'll have your Social Security benefits. And what we help do is put all of that together, help simplify your cross border retirement plan. And there's a lot of misconceptions about Social Security and how it's calculated. For example, we have a lot of clients who think maybe Social Security is based on just the last 5 years of your US work. And if those last 5 years are a lower paying job, you might actually have a lower Social Security benefit. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how your Social Security benefit is calculated and actually talk a little bit how a part-time job could lower your Social Security benefit. So let's start off by talking about how Social Security is calculated. Social Security ultimately ends up being this. The longer you work here in the United States, the more you earn here in the United States, ultimately the higher your Social Security benefit is going to be. Now, when you're looking at cross-border retirement and how much your Social Security benefit is going to be, work up in Canada might help you easier qualify for Social Security, but it doesn't boost your Social Security benefit. They don't take that into account how much you earned up in Canada. But there is a scenario in which working up in Canada can actually help you qualify for Social Security if you wouldn't do it on your own. Now, how Social Security is calculated is they look at the highest 35 years of work experience. Again, some people think they just look at the last 5 years and how much you earned over those last 5 years is what your Social Security benefit is going to be. That is not the case. They look at the full 35 years of US work. Now, a lot of our clients are cross-border retirees. Maybe they moved to the US when they were 35, 40 years old, and maybe they're only getting 20 years of US work, sometimes even less than that. And so, in that type of scenario, if you only have 20 years of US work and they're looking at the highest 35 years of work, then there's 15 years of your earnings record that are basically a zero. And so anytime if you're thinking about taking a part-time job, if you're taking a job that might be lower in retirement, almost always that's going to increase your Social Security benefits because you're replacing some of these 0 years of income with something, even if it's 5, 10, $15,000. It's better than nothing. And in all likelihood, you're paying into Social Security. And as a result, you're going to see a higher Social Security benefit when you turn on your benefit at retirement. So, what does that mean for you? So let's look at an example. I ran this through the Social Security calculator and I looked at two examples. I looked at an example where somebody worked for 20 years here in the United States. They earned $100,000 per year. They retired at 62, didn't earn anything between 62 and 67, and then they turned on their Social Security benefit at age 67. And the total benefit that that person was going to receive is a little under $2,500 per month. The exact amount was $2,464 per month, starting at age 67. Now, let's compare that to somebody who did work part-time after retirement or, once they were done with their full-time job and earned a smaller amount. So let's look at the same example. Somebody had worked 20 years here in the United States. They earned $100,000 per year. They retired from that job at 62, but continued to earn $25,000. as kind of a part-time employee doing something else, or maybe they were continuing the same work, but they were doing something else and they were earning less at $25,000 per year. In the same example, they start collecting their benefit at age 67. And in that case, they would actually earn an extra $100 per month for the rest of their life by working that part-time job or that lower paying job for those 5 years. Their benefit goes from 24.64 per month by having no part-time job up to 25.64 per month by taking a lower paying job for those next 5 years. So you can see that anytime you're working, anytime you're paying into Social Security, that ultimately is going to increase your Social Security benefit for you. Now, I teased earlier that earnings or actually working while could lower your Social Security benefit. So let me give you an example of this. Now, if you turn on your Social Security benefit early, if you turn it on prior to your full retirement age, which for most of us is age 67, and you're working and earning over a certain amount of money, your Social Security benefit will actually be reduced. So I had a scenario where I had a client that he retired at 62. He said, Brian, I'm not going to go back to work and I'm nervous about Social Security, so I'm going to turn on my benefit at 62. 6 months later, his company came calling and he was kind of bored a little bit. So he said, I might as well go back to work and earn a little bit of money. Well, what happened? His Social Security benefit actually got almost completely eliminated because he took on this job. So what happens? What's the equation here? If you have Social Security, if you've turned it on and you're prior to your full retirement age of 67 and you earn over $23,400 in 2025, your Social Security benefit will start to get reduced. You'll actually reduce your Social Security benefit will go down by $1 in benefits for every $2 that you earn over that $23,400 in 2025. And that is inflation adjusted. So every year that number goes up. So what happened to my client? Well, he took his same job he was had before. He was earning almost $80,000 per year. So essentially his whole Social Security benefit was eliminated because of this job that he took in retirement. So if you are planning on retiring and turning on your Social Security benefit early, it's really important that you're either not going back to work or you're earning under what that Social Security minimum would be before they start reducing your Social Security benefits, which again is about $24,000 in 2025. That can be a really sticky subject, and he had to deal with reductions or basically eliminations of Social Security for about 5 years until he finally retired at his full retirement age. Now, you can earn, if you turn on Social Security at 67, if you're at full retirement age at 60, when you turn it on, you can earn as much as you want. They won't reduce your Social Security. This is just simply for people who turn their benefits on early. I realize Social Security can be confusing. This is something that we help our clients out with every day. If you're interested, you can find a link below to schedule an initial consultation with one of our financial advisors. Also, we have a free cross-border checklist below with a lot of great tips for retiring as a US and Canadian. Thanks again for listening today. Talk to you soon.